I'm just feeling extra tired today. So I'll try and get my second cup of coffee very soon. So I will post the workout. I hope you are all well. We are going to be doing, what are we doing today?
I don't know what a Turkish sit-up but I'm imagining that it's gonna be painful.
It's actually, so it is a variation on sit-up. And we can always bring it back to something that feels good to you. So it's just one of those things where I will demonstrate it. If it seems like a bad idea, don't do it. Yeah.
I'm just
It's the
joking
start.
around.
Yeah, Turkish setup is a start of a Turkish getup, which we are not doing a Turkish getup for anyone who knows what it is. We're not doing that. Okay. So not a panic attack. It takes far too long to teach. And it's a cool trick, but we'll teach components of it first. So we're doing 3 times through, 8 per side. So everything in this first portion is 8 per side. So when in doubt, do 8. Okay, 8 per side, Turkish sit-ups. So that's 8 per arm. So essentially 16 sit-ups. I'll show them to you in a moment. 8 per side or 16 total, depending how I like to count. 2-second pauses and a plank shoulder tap. So just 2-second pause with the hand on the shoulder. And then 8 per side, again, or 16 total, weighted dead bugs. Okay. So a lot of core work just got up front. From here, we're doing 4 sets. Okay, moving on into 4 sets of 8 per side reverse. So curtsy lunges go behind, not in front. So curtsy lunges, these can be changed to reverse lunges. Into a knee raise. So we're just adding a balance component. We've done both of these things. We're just going to put them together. So that should look and feel familiar. Followed by 10 front-loaded good mornings or regular good mornings. So we're just going to pair those 2 things together. So 8 per side on lunges and 10 front-loaded good mornings. And then we have some push-ups and air squats and glute bridges to round off the session. Okay. So when you are ready, you're going to find your comfy spots and we'll just start with some cat-cows. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can DM me or yell really loudly. Okay. So what?
Joseph, I'm not muting today just for you, so you can hear all the groaning. Yesterday for yoga, Arisa and I muted, and so it was all Joseph going, oh, but we were both doing it.
Now we can groan together.
Now we can
I
groan
mean,
together.
it's why we show up, Joseph. It is the reason. Suffering together is well, there's no hollow body rocks though, so you're not going to get a series of swear words.
They're my favorite. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, you can love and hate something. I feel like those 2 emotions kind of run pretty closely together. I've completed 10 cat count. I'm aware I haven't, by the way, if you're watching this. Done like 4. But once you completed 10 or so, moving into our bird dogs, we're going to add a crunch to this. You're welcome to, but it is not a requirement. Extending your leg, extending the arm. The crunch part is coming together. That's an option. If that's not your cup of tea, you can bring your hands back together and switch. If you're doing the crunch part, we'll do 5 per side. So easier to stay on one side than it is to switch on the crunch part, right? So alternating or 5 per side. Let's stand tabletop here. We're gonna get a nice rotation of the upper back. So either hand behind the head, kind of an opening, or kind of a full straight arm. Whatever you prefer. And then you're gonna go through this gap, your knee and your wrist. Reaching as far through as you're comfortable. We're doing this at least 3 times. I'm gonna add third or a fourth or fifth time, that's fine. You need a professional videographer, Meg, or else.
If you came for the professional videographer, you're in the wrong place. If you came for a damn good workout, you're in the right place.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment because I'm sure people get motion sick with my camera doing this. But, I don't mean to, I promise. I don't have the fancy fisheye thing that Joseph has. So my room is the size it is. It's this big. Let's go ahead and do our 90-90s. So that's where our feet are roughly shoulder width apart. We're gonna go and shift ourselves to one side, right? If you feel inclined, we had this last week, if you want to lift so from my right side, my left foot, a little glute engagement. You don't have to go that far. It's an option. We're just adding. I can tell we're approaching winter because everyone's wearing all of their cozy stuff and then all of it comes off when we warm up. Let me go ahead and demonstrate. So Maxine, if you want to pop up off the floor, you can.
You have to wake up first. Just kidding. Just kidding.
God.
You love us, Maxine.
Uh-huh.
Like
That's why I keep showing up.
love and hate very closely is related.
I'm really exploring that line.
Pushing boundaries? Never.
Never.
Would never, Maxine. Absolutely.
Meanwhile, look at Arisa's modeling. How we feel. Donk.
That's true. That's a pretty accurate representation. I agree. So let me demonstrate Turkish sit-up, and then of course we'll talk about variations that are not a Turkish sit-up. Essentially, we've done a weighted sit-up before, at least I think we have, right? Where you have a weight of some kind. And either you keep the weight near your chest or over your shoulder. That's kind of personal preference. You sit up, right? So sometimes you can use a weight to kind of help propel you forward. The Turkish sit-up is just one arm. So I'm going to show you the bottom half and the top half. So this is my very professional videography that to happen. It's going to be here to here, right? So dumbbells over my head. Not that you can see that, but it is, I promise. So we're here, here, right? And we're doing 8 per side. So and this is a weight that I want light enough, right? So your light dumbbells, but I would say try it. If your feet are coming off the ground, say that do your best, or you can hook your feet under your handy couch or something if you need it. But for the most part, it's 8 reps per side. Right, we're just bringing the weight overhead. So single arm element, that's the Turkish part, right? That's what we got going on. Your 2-second shoulder taps, pauses. We've done it before, where I'm going to pause with my hand on my shoulder. 1, 2, that's 1, 1, 2, that's 2. Right. And then we have our weighted dead bugs. Weighted again is an option. But the dead bug itself is that one where we have weight in hand and then right here. So weight on that, of course, is optional. Move your arms a step whenever you feel ready to move. Let's start with an attempt at a Turkish sit-up. Maybe it could be a weighted sit-up. It could be, I don't know. Try it. If it's not happening, let me know. Axiom, this is a bad idea for your shoulder. Don't do it. I know you've been working on it, but there we go. And if possible, keep the wrist over your shoulder the whole time. So when you're laying down, it's like you're in a plank shape. So arms straight. There you go. Nice work with those sit-ups. There you go. You can either look at the weight or keep your kind of eyes forward. It's kind of up to you. I don't necessarily, on this particular one, I'm not looking at it like you would a Turkish sit-up, Turkish get-up, but it's okay if you do. And if you don't feel dizzy doing so, you're more than welcome. After your 8 per side, and if you need to reduce the volume to 6 or 7, that's okay. You're doing 8 per side or 16 total. Pausing shoulder taps. So kind of pausing with one hand off the ground. If this is to be from the forearm, that's okay, right? You use from your forearm position. And you can elevate your forearms if you need to do so. So you elevate the forearms on something so we're not hand balancing. You could still do the same thing. You can still lift your hand off of your box or the ground. Good. And then finally, you have dead bugs, 16 total. These can be weighted. They do not need to be, right? Weight is an option, okay? The weight can either just stay over the shoulder and the legs move independent, or you're welcome to move the dumbbell or the weight with you. So arms moving is an option. Sometimes just weight in the hand is a nice input. If that makes your low back or your thing feel funny, Meg, you can adjust.
I was just making sure my low back was
Okay.
flat because I get more out of it when I do that.
Yeah, it's a good point, right? So we're doing a lot of core work up front. So if you're obviously your fatigue will probably feel higher than on the third movement of 3. And so if you need to reset or whatever else before continuing with the dead bugs, that's totally fine. Meaning if the low back is coming off the ground or you feel your hip flexors kick in or anything but kind of those deep abdominal muscles working. Okay. Good. Nice job with the Turkish sit-ups. And if you can't get your hand above your head, I realize that's not an option for everybody. That's not a range of motion everyone carries with them. Go as far as it feels safe, right? You need to just weight the sit-up with the kind of a corn cob, right? Or holding the ends of your kettlebell. That's okay. Keeping weight near your chest is valid. Adjust your volume. I'm aware 8 per side is a lot, especially on that sit-up. So if you need to adjust it, adjust accordingly.
Those are ridiculously easy and yet ridiculously hard. Anybody else want to curse the whole way through those? Or is it just me?
You can curse your way through them.
They're not, it's like weird. Not
Yeah,
hard, but also annoying.
I think for me, it's a coordination thing that makes it hard. Like the motor control is hard. The sit-up element for me is not particularly challenging. It's the keeping my wrist over my shoulder while doing the whole thing. Okay, fine. It's technically not a Turkish sit up. I'm saying it's like a single arm sit up. Turkish sit up is slightly different, but anyone feeling pedantic. Uh, I mislabeled it, but it's a single arm sit up. Single arm weighted sit up. We will edit that in the notes because I feel like I'll send you a new thing for that.
I got it. I can edit that.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Speaking of
Round.
single arm
Record.
weighted sit-ups.
Yes. For the record, I feel like you're doing a sprint triathlon here. You can rest. You guys are doing great work, but if you need to rest if anything, rest between full rounds. So after the weighted dead bugs or your dead bug variations, take a break. Think elongated transition. What'd you say, Meg? Oh no, wait, I think one of Nikki's old coaches, swim coaches, asked if he was cooking a burger in T1.
I asked him if he was having a sandwich. That's the case. I
Yeah.
asked him once, I was like, did you have a freaking sandwich?
Yeah. Anastasia was like, did he cook a steak while he was in T1? I don't know. He used to coach at is it BU or BC? I forgot which one. One of the Boston colleges. Boston school. I should know this. Sorry, Anastasia. Um Nice job. If that range of motion on the dead bug needs to change, right, as in get smaller in order to maintain that rib cage and hip distance, so nice and flat on the ground, little back on the ground, that's fine. Or you can simplify by removing the weight or not moving the weight in your hands while moving your legs only.
Well, drop the kettlebell on your chest.
I wouldn't recommend it.
How'd you crack your sternum, Coach Meg? Well,
Did you go give yourself CPR? You can do it that way.
yes, I've shocked myself into life. Better than coffee.
Giving yourself CPR is, I would say, harder than that. I don't know if that works as well as you might think. Although cracking a sternum, I've heard, is pretty common when you give it to someone. Nice work, y'all. I know we're kind of working through third and final round.
Look, I'm taking a rest. I'm
The
sure.
rest, good.
See?
I approve. Arisa gave me a big double thumbs up when I said rest. She was like, great.
That was really hard. What's next, coach?
Maxine, you look
That was hard.
a little different. What happened? You're supposed to get stronger, not more frail.
I'm
Hey,
dead.
bones are tough.
I'm dead. Bones are tough, but tough and brittle don't work. I just like,
Hey, guys, that was a Halloween prop.
I like the little peek around. You're like, oh, see? Do you see me? Do you see me? Okay. You're setting a high bar, Maxine. I feel like now we're gonna expect that every time.
You know, we've joked about me popping up with glitter and stuff. So, you know, that was.
I feel like glitter is an all year round thing. Glitter is like an all seasons. You can do whatever you want. Okay, my friends, we have some curtsy lunges into a knee raise. So this is, again, is 8 per side. If you're doing 4 rounds of that, that's 32 reps a leg. If that's too many, change it. So change the rounds, or I think it's easier to change the reps if that's the case. Your curtsey lunge is where we step back and behind the foot. So instead of a good old fashioned reverse lunge, right, where you're, I would say, hip or shoulder width, you're going to be a little more kind of foot across, right? That cross is not huge. It's not like a here, but it does increase balance demands. And then I love that knee raise. I like it. Slightly less scarecrow, a little more forward. Okay, just
It can be forward, excellent, that's less.
yeah. So when you go to knee raise, we're not doing this. Whee! So we are going across, right? But then that we're going to go into, right, like you're running, right? And we're doing 8 for like. If you need to be near a wall or something to support you, I fully understand. I love it. If you want to weight these, heck yes. What I would do, however, because you're crossing over and you're shifting side to side a little bit, I would try and carry the weight like this. Yeah. Or single. So you have a hand if you need to catch yourself. Okay. When you're crossing that leg over, make sure you're not going so far that the knee is past the ankle, right? So I don't need a knee past the ankle here, right? In line with his spine, right? That's as far as you need to go on that. Otherwise, your knees might have opinions later, and we want to avoid those opinions. Okay, after your 8 per side, we have our good mornings. Again, I said front loaded, but if your core's already feeling all toasty, maybe it's just a good old fashioned hamstring stretch. If you're feeling fancy, maybe we're holding a weight and then hinging and coming back up, right? So with or without weight, 10 reps. If you're going without weight, let's go big, open chest, hands behind the head. Yeah, you can backload that, back rack that if you're more comfortable with that. You need to make these lunges, by the way, when you come back to them, because we're doing this 4 times. The lunges, just reverse lunges. Right, that's fine. So just straight back, not across. Or if lunging is a no, let's go ahead and do a goblet, just a good old fashioned squat, 2-footed into a knee raise. But we're still going to do 8 leg lifts per leg. You can stick your hands out like you're curtsying. That does feel like, I know it feels a little like you're holding up a dress, which feels like it, but you're also balancing. As your hands get wider, you're balancing. Yeah, and you may put your foot back on the ground prior to shifting over again. So it doesn't need to be putting your feet back together in either direction. Going down or coming up is an option. For anyone who feels extra flexible and you don't feel a specific stretch behind the hamstrings, whose name might start with J and end with S, if it's okay for you to forward fold as long as you understand you're going past kind of that deadlift shape, right? So forward fold's fine, but if you're loading this, you want to make sure that it's not, so if we're thinking about a deadlift, you're probably going to be folding less than you think. There you go.
Oh, Joseph has hamstrings.
Right, but
Feedback, don't you worry.
Joseph is
From Monday
also,
morning.
well, you can be stiff and flexible in different parts of your body, right? So I'm someone who, if I'm told to feel a stretch on my hamstrings, I am almost touching my toes. If I'm stopping at a good morning, I'm like 30 degrees higher than I need to be. So if you're weighting them, I just want a gentle, I mean, to anyone out there, a gentle caution, right? If your chest is moving independent of your hips, you're forward folding, that's different. If you're doing it on purpose, great. If you're not, it's not the plan. Whether you're going curtsy, so back and across, or a good old-fashioned reverse lunge step, it's okay to balance first, right? So when you step behind yourself, don't just hope you won't fall over. We want to see if we can find your balance point first. And if you need to be near something that helps, that's fine. You can always go to a goblet squat or a regular body weight squat if your knees are not loving the single leg variation. This, excuse me, 4 times through. Sorry about that. Whew. Yeah. Well, Maxine, give me a thumbs up if you're good.
Balance is just shit today.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a really good observation, right? Like your balance, especially, and I personally, I mean, everyone has a different opinion in terms of like perceived, like their own like personal experience. Personally, I find going forward harder, but that doesn't mean it's right or wrong. But sometimes backward stepping, especially if you don't do very often, can be super wobbly, or you have days that you feel more wobbly than normal. And that's okay. Just having that, knowing that, and having that in case of emergency wall or workbench is absolutely fine. I mean, with a lot of, I would say either older athletes or people recovering from like foot or ankle stuff, standing on one leg and stepping, like standing on one leg and then stepping backwards is sort of a step towards balancing again, you know, trusting one foot to do it. So it's good.
I'm feeling seen with that comment on both counts.
Good.
Older, foot shit.
Right. But also, like, what happens when you almost fall down?
No, but what I will say is, the interesting thing is that it's all my left foot now, which is not the foot I broke. It's the foot I had pre-existing issues. But, and what I find is the balance stuff is really hard, generally hardest on the first round. And I can tell that I'm doing good if it's better later. Like that last round was the best round.
Interesting.
And, it just takes my mind a bit to catch up. And I have to like, because because I know the balance stuff is foot related, I have to like make sure I'm properly set. You
Yeah.
know?
I think of like,
If I try to go too fast, then I'm like all over the show.
yeah, it's sort of like sometimes speed is helpful. And in this case, momentum doesn't particularly assist you. I mean, you want to move fast enough to lift your leg, but you don't want to move so fast that you're going to topple over. Not how you're doing it. Whenever I'm doing anything, well, most things, not everything, I think of my feet as like little, like I think of like a little gecko with a little like little toes
Yeah.
on the glass, right? Except we have 3 of them, so I think of like big toe, pinky toe, heel. So like a nice little triangle. You can of course shift your weight between those 3 points, but it's one of those things. If you've ever, I don't know, hurt one of your toes, one of your digits, specifically pinky or big toe, you'll recognize the importance of that for balance, because without them, it's like we have no thumbs. We're kind of useless. I did it by dropping a barbell on my foot. It was a good idea from here. So it was a long time ago. I didn't break it, but walking was hard. Can confirm. Would not recommend. Okay, let's go ahead. So for our next portion here, I have reps, but I also want to provide the option for anyone doing this on their own for doing it for time. So as written, it is 4 times through, 10 push-ups or push-up variations. Again, you can knock that volume down. So instead of doing 40, maybe you're doing less. So reduce number of push-ups. You can break those push-ups up. So 2 sets of 5. They do not need to be done in a row. Just complete them before you move on. Followed by 10 bodyweight squats. This is more just a gentle stretch. So moving the legs around. We do a lot of curtsey lunges. I just want to see how the legs are feeling up and down. And then we have 10 glute bridges, regular glute bridges, no marches, just opening the hips using your butt. Okay, so nothing super fancy here. If you're going for time, you can do on the minute. You could do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, right? So you only work for 30 seconds and repeat that 4 times. But we're going to go for reps today. Okay, so I should say, does anyone need a clarification on any of those things? I feel like we do this a lot, so I want to make sure we're all good. Okay, let's start with your push-ups, yeah, or pushing variations. In your push-up, whether your knees are down on the ground or off of the ground at any point, I want your butt squeezed, right? Your squats are, well, at least as written, are unweighted, but you're more than welcome to grab a dumbbell or a kettlebell and add weight if you feel inclined. Those squats, those feet, I would say hip to shoulder width apart, and send your hips back before your knee, or not before, slightly before your knees bend. The glute bridges, we're just kind of opening the hips. Let the glutes engage. The height of the hips is not critical on this one. Good. Nice job, Risa. Hands above the head is not required. You're doing a great job. You're doing good. But if this, like this, holding your hand up here for 10 reps, it's tiring. So if you want them there, that's fine. But don't feel like you have to keep them there. Okay. I know I've said hands up before, but this one is just sort of chest up, really. So we're going for it. You can goblet squat, you can front squat. I know whatever weights are available for you, Joseph, is variable. Nice job with the squats. I can't see your stance, Meg, but if you'd like to, you can go wider if you're more comfortable going wider. So you're doing great, but sort of foot stance will make that feel easier or harder. I forgot Joseph sumo squats. It's not a bad thing. It's different. There you go. As long as the knees stay over the toes in terms of positioning, so this is my foot, my knee is in line with that, you're okay. Nice work, y'all. Working our way through 4 rounds of this. Yeah, nice. Nice job, y'all. They're great squats. As we get tighter on the squats, right, on rounds 3 and 4, do me a favor, stand all the way up, right? That's more of a general comment, just because I find myself not standing all the way up when I'm squatting, particularly when I'm tired. Right? Oh, the sleeves are rolling up. It's business time.
I just want to say, I am not racing Joseph. I am not racing Joseph. See? Look at me. Racing Joseph.
Is Joseph racing you?
No, Joseph is just being a badass. Yeah.
We can make his push-ups harder.
Oh, so
Isn't that a topic of conversation when you're in the room?
what'd you say?
Isn't it nice to be the topic of conversation while you're actively present, but we're referring to you like you're not there?
I've grown used to it.
You're growing used to it.
Out, basically.
Fair enough. You're very pinup doll right now. I've only seen your side, but I imagine there's like a hip and a leg, and I feel like it's a good look. Yeah. I feel like you could be like a workout Barbie. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
So we bought, I don't know if you can see here, maybe just slightly. And you can see it behind me. We have 2 plastic skeletons. We have like 7 total or something like that. And one fell over the other day, and Mira and I put him in this position. But he's like right at the bottom of our stairs. So he's the first person to greet you when you walk in.
I mean, they're very cute. It's quite funny.
And then I think there's one on our liquor shelf where he's just sitting there with his legs off the shelf waving.
The gym I work at has not like the 12-foot skeletons, because that's like for front yards, but we have kind of like I would say human-sized skeleton that's pink, and it's just on the wall. It's just like a bright pink skeleton. I'm like, it's so cute. And I was like, well, if it's pink, it's at the gym. Wow.
This is the done position.
I think so.
Am I nailing it? How's that?
I think, yeah. I think I have to say, I have to give.
Leg up.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's actually better for my hip. So
You can choose the leg position, the leg up.
Oh, so I could also do this.
You could do that.
Okay.
That looks harder.
Yeah, it looks harder.
Feels good.
Great. You can
Why do I feel like a bad Jane Fonda video right now? Hi. Today we're gonna do this. And 1 and 2 and sorry.
I know it's the wrong week.
Jane Fonda video, so there you go.
I would say we're gonna be a week late next week. But if you want to show up in brightly colored lycra that goes over your hip bone, but make sure you have like lycra pants underneath with
And
big,
a headband.
I won't be upset.
A headband and a scrunchie.
I was like, I don't know. I feel like it'd be fun. You guys were very efficient today. So we were very early today. And I want to give you that extra 15-ish minutes to maybe grab an extra cup of coffee or go for a walk or have some quiet time. Whatever brings you.
Trudy should have been here because we didn't fuck around that long. Just sorry.
That's true. We didn't.
We didn't. We just got to
I
work.
mean, Joseph might disagree, but I think we did pretty good.
Just a little bit.
Just a tiny bit. We have to have a little bit of fun. I wish you guys a good week. And if you celebrate Halloween or enjoy festivities, enjoy them. If you don't, turn off your porch light, because you're going to get guests you don't want. What are you guys going to be for Halloween? I do have a question. I do want to know that. Anyone doing any costumes?
I'm not ready. I'm going to be one of those party poopers with the lights turned off.
That's okay. Me too.
Get a care package out to my nephew, and I had it sitting here.
Good.
Yeah.
At least I'll get
I have
something.
Halloween candy. I've got to get it out this week.
Joseph, anybody's dressing up at your house, or are they too cool for this now?
Well, the kids